across the globe. Investigator Michael Marks believes the shattered pieces from the engine pylon may explain why Flight 191 fell from the sky. A close examination reveals a crack in the metal that clearly developed slowly over time. It's a telltale sign that the pylon bulkhead was already damaged before the crash.
You can see where it's spread, all along there.
The crack that Michael Marks finds runs along the top edge of the aft bulkhead.
The cracks were consistent with a fatigue phenomenon or a cyclic behavior, a crack extending from repeated loads. Each time the load occurs, you then have an extension of the crack.
The microscopic examination gives Marks another clue, a dent on the pylon bulkhead at exactly the point where the crack began.
There was a deformation.
Looks like something hit the pylon. I'm just not sure what or when.
Okay, I'll see what I can find. Take notes on everything.
Got it.
Investigators arrange to watch as another DC-10 undergoes the same maintenance that was performed on Flight 191 just weeks before the crash.
Can you take me up and show me how the engine's mounted?
We're going to talk to the people involved. Most likely it's going to be the maintenance personnel, and we're going to ask them pointed questions, you know, on what have you done? Have you done this job before? What kind of problems did you encounter? Did you follow the paperwork to the letter religiously? Step 1, step 2, step 3. They found procedures that were not in the manual. They found procedures that the manufacturer didn't recommend be performed.
To save time, the airline has modified a key maintenance procedure.
In the sky.
The normal procedure for servicing an engine involves removing it from the pylon and leaving the pylon attached to the wing. There are hundreds of connections to be undone. The quicker way involves taking out just 3 bolts. The engine is removed from the wing while still attached to the pylon. It saves about 200 man-hours of labor.
It back together. Removing's not the issue. It's the attempt to reinstall.
Whoa, stop!
Is where the problem comes from.
Left a bit. Now up!
Maneuvering the pylon into position with an engine attached to it is a tricky procedure.
Trying to put the engine and the pylon back together, some 13,000 pounds for the engine and 2,000 pounds for the pylon, it's not easy.
They were using the forklift, and this forklift is not very manageable. It cannot be finely controlled as far as the altitude is concerned.
Whoa, stop, stop!
So you get just slightly the wrong angle, and you get too much pressure on it, and you're going to crack those fittings.
I'm sure they didn't realize that, how quickly they could get in trouble doing it the way they were doing it.
I think I know what happened.
A possible explanation surfaces
Take her down.
for the mysterious dent found on the pylon from Flight 191. Marks concludes that on the accident plane, the clevis must have slammed into the top of the pylon bulkhead as the engine was being reattached. The impact could have started the crack that led to the pylon's failure and to the crash itself.
The maintenance